Up, it's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another video. And in this video I want to discuss a YouTube video that I saw that was talking about the Biden and the Democrat Green Party and socialist platform of erasing student debt. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, that legit sounds like an amazing plan until you ask yourself the question, what kind of problem is that going to address? And I'm not being hypercritical. I'm literally just looking at economic indicators, the way that the world is currently, local and state regulations, and a bunch of different factors that I think people need to consider before they just cheer something on because it sounds or feels good. And I got a lot of student debt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about to sit here and act like, oh, you know, I'm rich and pull yourself by the bootstraps, because in my opinion, that kind of talk is a bunch of dumb shit. It doesn't help anything. It's not productive. And 9 times out of 10 is comparing apples to oranges. It's not even valid rebuttal. Okay? The reason why I have an issue with student debt forgiveness, because let me tell you something, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. If they just decided to say, hey, your debt's erased tomorrow, I'm gonna take advantage of it. Okay? I'm absolutely gonna take advantage. So don't get it twisted. Don't think that I'm just sitting here fronting, okay? Because I'm not. If somebody said, yo, Rob, we throwing out all the student debt, cool. I'm not gonna advocate it against it to the point where it's like, no, I'm gonna work double shifts every day for the rest of my life to show how hard I work and how my American work ethic will not take a handout. Fuck out of here, man. American work ethic is work smart, not hard. Work hard at working smart. You feel me? That's the American work ethic. That's the American way. Now, when it comes to student loan debt, currently in 2020, there is a huge issue, okay? And it's a multifaceted issue. If you take a linear approach and you only look at student debt, the only thing that you're taking into consideration is a line value. You see a line on a bill that says, I don't know, let's just take an arbitrary figure and say 50K, all right? Then you subtract it based on what the government does for you. I'm going to subtract 50K from this existing 50K. Now I have 0. That looks great. However, it doesn't address root problems. One of the major root problems that has nothing to do with the current geopolitical environment is that as time has gone on, since the 90s, it has been harder and harder and harder for college graduates with a bachelor's degree to be able to secure sustainable employment where they can adequately pay their bills, have disposable income, and get rid of their college loans without going into default. That has been a problem, okay? Now, let's take a look at those problems. Sustainable employment. Sustainable employment was a problem then, and it's absolutely a problem now. And the reason why it's a problem now is because we have the variability of what's called an essential career. When it comes to the geopolitical environment currently, COVID-19 dictates a lot. It dictates a lot of the policy that allows certain businesses to be open. Businesses are only allowed to work at maybe, say, half the capacity that they usually worked at. So guess what? If you're working at half the capacity, 9 times out of 10, they're going to cut staffing. You're going to work with half staffing. You know what I'm saying? So you not only have difficulty finding jobs as a non-COVID factor, but you have COVID-related factors, which makes income generation even more difficult without poor perspectives of jobs after graduation. Okay, so the issue, okay, if you have somebody that's already poor and you say, you know what, I'm going to take away the student debt, that's nice, it helps, but how is that going to help them sustain to take away their other bills? The whole point of all of this is supposedly supposed to uplift people and to help people to be able to move up on the class system, right? And to be able to be financially and economically secure in the United States. If you simply pay off a student loan debt, that's literally one debt. There's reoccurring debts, power bills, phone bills, rent, mortgages, if you still have a mortgage payment. You know what I mean? None of those things are going to be taken care of. The problem that needs to be dealt with is the income generation. Not a universal basic income, because a universal basic income is simply a flat number that doesn't increase or decrease. It is a stable number that these platforms have of $15 that doesn't change. It doesn't account for purchasing power parity. It doesn't account for inflation, and it doesn't account for rate increases, interest rate increases. It's a stable number. The economy isn't stable. So if you set a stable factor in an unstable economy, there's no possible way that that's going to sustain. And this is literally simply basic macro and microeconomics. This isn't rocket science. We're not trying to get to the moon. So now, if the United States government decides to allow loan forgiveness, they're going to have higher expectations on all of the other bills being paid. Now, you've taken care of one cost, but you haven't done anything sustainable to take care of reoccurring costs that happen. The reason why people are called the working poor is because every paycheck that they get, they have bills that are greater than their paycheck, and they end up with negative wealth and zero disposable income. Simply paying off college debt does not address that problem. The problem is that there needs to be adequate income generation, formulating competitive employees, as well as formulating suitable jobs and sustainable jobs to be able to allow a person to take care of monthly reoccurring costs. All right. Now, if they do that and then go ahead and take away your college debt, shit, you may as well have won the lottery. That's what's up. That should have actually helped. But just giving $50,000, first of all of the reasons that I listed before are above and beyond why I don't feel that it's a good idea. Anytime the government pays back the people who pay taxes with their tax money as a reward, it's always a good idea. So I'm not going to sit there and say it's not a good idea, because everybody, should be able to not have to go into the poorhouse to go to college. The problem is that the way that it's being marketed like it's an end-all solution, and once everybody has their loans paid back, everything will be all good, we'll be kumbaya, there will be no more issues, and poof, problem solved. You know what I'm saying? All of the income disparities, all of the wealth gaps, all of the unemployment, all of the issues that everybody has, we take away the college debt, poof, it's gone. And that's not even taking into consideration people who probably won't be eligible for it because they'll be grandfathered out of it because they paid off their college loans to the U.S. Department of Education. You know what I mean? So that is why, in my opinion, it's not inclusive enough. And another thing is the handouts crowd, the people that gets overly offended, and literally anytime there's a financial endowment, say that it's given to a population of people who, quote, likes to have handouts. This isn't anything specific. I believe that there was income stipulations on this loan forgiveness. I think the income stipulations were for people who make less than $125,000 a year. All right. So there's no gender, race, religion, color, or creed associated with this general credit of providing a student loan forgiveness. It's nothing like that. You know what I mean? It's literally just here. Basically a food stamp for your tuition. Look at what food stamps does. Food stamps keeps motherfuckers going to the store and not generating their own income to pay for their groceries. Right? Same problem that you have with this shit. It's a coupon. You pay with the coupon. You still have other real world shit going on. You still have an electric bill. You still have rent. You still have daycare costs for your kids. You still have to take your car to get maintenance. You still got to put gas in it. You still got to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? All of those problems are not solved. Those problems will only be solved by income generation. People need to be able to generate income and sustain it. All these these platforms, these leftist platforms, for the most part, they always talk about all this sustainable shit, sustainable energy, sustainable environment. How about some sustainable motherfucking income? Can we get some sustainable income? Can we do that? Because that right there, they always talk about this whole economic equality, economic stability. There's no possible scenario in any kind of economy or any kind of government structure where there's ever going to be economic equality. The best thing that you can do is provide equal opportunity for adequate, sustainable, time value income. All right? And just a one-time payment doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it. Think about this from a business standpoint. If you take a one-time payment, right? If you win the lottery and you take the jackpot one-time payment, you're going to get less money than what you would get if you took that payment as an annuity or a perpetuity and you got a small fraction of it over time. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because there's a liquidity cost. There's a liquidity cost. It is always a better value to have something sustainable, to have an income source, not to take a one-time payment. It works both ways, forward and backwards. It is not wise to take a one-time payment to satisfy a fixed bill that could possibly be out of your budget, and not to mention there are actual ways that you can go through the federal loan department and actually get some of that loan debt eased. You can actually put it into a longer deferment. You can do all kinds of things. There's all kinds of remedies for student loan debt. Okay, so this is not a solution that helps America. This is not a solution that helps black people as far as being a community with disparities. It's not helping anybody because it's not economically formulated for sustainability. And that's the key thing. Anything that is suggested by the government as far as monetarily easing any kind of economic stress should always be something that's sustainable, something that lasts over time. And a one-time student loan payment for something that happened a long time ago is not. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Does it accommodate for time value of money? Does it accommodate for inflation? Does it accommodate for compound interest? All of these questions are things that I don't know. I don't know if they've been explored or not. But 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you they haven't. So what do you do? I don't know. But I know what I'm about to do. I'm about to go get my sustainable income over time written in. So I'll catch y'all later on the next video. Peace.